Hello. So I guess nobody will be here for a little bit, but I had some things I wanted to share. So I had a slightly slower day at work today. So I had a couple things I wanted to do, and I thought it would be nice to do them on a live. So for those of you who are here, welcome. I doubt there will be very many people. That's the problem with lives for me. I never really know when I'm going to have time to do a live. So I kind of have to just jump in when I get a chance. So I am today drinking a watermelon oolong from Dominion Tea, which I know may sound strange for this time of year, but it doesn't really taste like watermelon to me. It tastes more like peach. It's got oolong tea, organic peppermint, organic ginger root, and organic natural flavor. So I love oolong, and it doesn't taste very watermelon-y to me. So that's what I am drinking. I just recorded a video for Patreon, so I'll have to edit that, get that set up, and then send that over to those of you on Patreon that get a monthly video. It was a fun one. I was having a little bit of difficulty with inspiration this month, so I was glad it finally came to me. So I will want to talk some books, but here's the main thing I wanted to talk. I know it is early for Advent calendars. It's actually not that early. There's all the Advent calendar YouTube stuff that's already up. But I wanted to show you my tea Advent calendar hack because I want to set it up because we are going out of town for Thanksgiving. So we come back. I'm very busy the day we come back, and then it's the 1st of December. So you may have seen this before if you've been watching my channel. This is an old David's Tea Advent calendar. I like to buy old Advent calendars. So I actually even bought this. It was like an old one. It wasn't their current year. It was like from the year before. And so it was very inexpensive because tea Advent calendars can be really, really expensive. And I don't know. I kind of grew up on the like $8 chocolate ones from the grocery store. So to me, that seems like what Advent calendars should cost, which I know is not reasonable for tea at all. But $75 does not seem reasonable for a tea Advent calendar for me either. Seems like you're paying a lot for packaging. So I like to buy Advent calendars I can reuse. I have a wooden Christmas tree that I think my grandma gave me like many years ago. And it's got little drawers in it, and I put candy in it for my son. Plus we did get one extravagant Advent calendar this year from Owl Crate. They had an amazing Advent calendar on Owl Crate, and it cost way too much money, and I bought it. Because I kind of bought it for my son. It's like he's hard to buy for now because he's a teenager, and he really wanted the stuff that was in it because he likes book-related stuff. And I don't know, I get a little bit extravagant when it comes to books sometimes, especially if I can justify that it's kind of for him. Sorry about the weird lighting. Here, maybe I will shift a little bit so that I'm not, you guys will be blinded by the window a little bit more, and now you can't see my beautiful fire, my beautiful fake candle fire. My husband is allergic to when we burn wood most of the time, so we only burn when he's kind of out of town. So this is my used box. It's got all of the different little tea boxes in there. And then what I did is actually this is quite a hack this year. So Adagio Tea, you guys probably know, is one of my favorite tea companies. So they are moving warehouses, I guess, and they're not putting out their subscriptions in the same quantity. I don't even know if they're going to put out a November subscription box. I mean, a December subscription box. They put out one for November, but it said we're not going to make any more because we're moving warehouses. So I don't know if there will be a December one, but they still had some October ones, which actually kind of some of my favorite teas anyway. So this is $19 to get their subscription. I haven't gotten their subscription in a while because I've been on kind of a tea buying ban. Also, their subscription box is wonderful for getting to know their teas, but once you've done the subscription box for a year or so, you've tried most of their teas and you know which ones you like. And so then now I just want to kind of buy the ones that I know I like. So because I'm getting October, I won't be participating. There's an online forum that they have, and I won't be participating in that because it's already over. I don't even know if I will have access to it. You usually get access to it. So this comes with these little packets of tea like that. And I got this yesterday. So each one has on the back what the type of tea is and what's in it, how to steep it, and the date. So I am going to go through and take each of these, and I'm going to just slot them into my advent calendar. So the first one is 40 Winks. Again, this is not specifically for December, but so what? So there's going to be a lot of me just putting things in boxes, and hopefully that's relaxing. So 40 Winks is like, oh, it's like a valerian root. Huh, okay. It's a valerian root tea, so I will sleep well on the first. All right, number 2 is Raja Oolong Chai. I don't love chais, but I actually like this one because it's an oolong, and I do like oolong. So this is the second. This advent calendar, all the boxes are in like random order. So this one has cinnamon, ginger, cardamom, cocoa nibs, chicory. I also love the chicory. Natural, spicy, cinnamon flavor, ginger, black peppercorn. I'm not going to read it out for all of them because we'd be here for days. So that's Raja Oolong Chai. Again, this would be a spoiler, except like, I don't know if anybody else, I don't even know if you can get the October ones anymore. But I think there's a lot where you can get like samplers, and then and if you aren't already doing this, you probably need to get the advent calendar to begin with. So sometimes check out, Adagio does have an advent calendar, but it's a lot more expensive than their regular box. So next one is Forest Berries. Oh, I like, see, I have tried most of these and I know I like them. I will luckily forget all of this before. I don't know how I would keep track of it anyway, but I will forget all of this by the time I open these, so it'll all be a surprise. Decaf Blueberry. This is another one I really need to buy a larger sample of because I need some new decafs. I've kind of had most of my decafs. My decaf is running low, but again, I've been on tea buying freeze. And I know that's what my mom is getting me for Christmas, because that's what I asked for. Throat therapy for the 5th. I also may need to stock up on some of their wellness teas. We'll see. I'm trying to not only do a tea ban, but I'm trying to like every other month for me is like a no buy month. So unless it's like groceries or something important, I'm trying not to just buy stuff. So it means I'm also behind. Where's number 6? Okay, here it is. I'm also behind on Christmas shopping because I've been on this month up until the 25th when my credit card rolls over. I'm on like a no buy month. Earl Grey Green. Not to say I didn't have a few slips, but what I try to do is take out $100 in cash at the beginning of my no buy months. And that is my only spending money. And I actually still have some of that $100. So maybe I'm not doing as bad as I think. The 7th is Pu'er Po, which I really like this Pu'er. I like Pu'er as it is. But I like this one. It's really good. Pu'er, sometimes doesn't sit well on my stomach. Kind of depends on what kind of Pu'er it is. They have a Pu'er that is the dark side of Bella Luna, which is only sold on the full moon eclipse, I think. Yeah, I believe it's the full moon eclipse. It's only sold like a couple times a year. And I really like it. They have the dark side. There's a few different ones. There's one that they sell on the full moon, and then, yeah, and I think it's this dark side of Bella Luna. Bella Luna is their regular full moon that they only sell on the full moon. I just think that's cool. The 8th is Chagatai, which is okay. It's not my favorite. It is a decaf, which is kind of nice. So I don't love ginger in tea unless it's just a plain ginger tea because I'm sick. So I usually hello, Cole, I assume. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad, hopefully you can just chill with me a little bit while you work. I am going to talk a little bit about tea. I do have a client at noon, so I will have to be done by noon, but we will see. Okay, so now I'm moving over to figure out what the next one is. Oh, the Chagatai is a decaf, so I usually like make it like a dessert tea, and I'll put like some soy milk in it and maybe some honey, and I like that better. White Darjeeling. I actually don't mind this white. I don't love white tea. It's kind of my least favorite. It just doesn't have enough flavor for me, but I do like Darjeeling. So we'll see if I like that one. I don't remember. Mocha Nut Mate. I love mate. I did my semester abroad in Chile when I was much younger, and I lived with an indigenous group that was down in the south, and we drank lots of mate because it was the kind of rainy season, and they had no electricity, so you kind of just sat around and drank mate at the end of the day with the family. Honey Bush Chocolate, another decaf. They make some really good decafs. For some reason, I haven't bought a lot of them recently. I do like, here's part of the problem. Rooibos and Honey Bush. I have my favorite big teapot. My favorite big teapot I cannot use for Rooibos or Honey Bush because it's just got holes in it. It doesn't have a wire mesh. So I will end up just having a whole bunch of Rooibos in my cup, which I don't love. Moringa. I kind of like the Moringa. So I've been trying to find decafs that aren't Rooibos or Honey Bush, just because it's such a stupid thing. I have another little teapot that has a wire mesh in it, but I just am less likely to use it as my regular one. Samurai Mate, that's another good one. So that has like mate, green Rooibos tea, cinnamon, ginger, cardamom, orange, lemongrass, aniseed, mango pieces, almond flavor, spicy cinnamon flavor, ginger twice, okay, and pineapple pieces. But I like that one because it's got that like the mango and like the aniseed, which makes it really spicy. It's not just focused on the ginger, which a lot of chais are. Okay, this is number 13. So this is going to be up on the mantle, up above, along with my son's advent calendar, and whenever we get our new advent calendar, bonfire. This is one of my favorite teas ever, and I am out. I should have gotten some more. I should have gotten some more when I got this, but this was free shipping, over $20, so I like basically already had that. They're doing their Black Friday sales already, so it's free shipping over $20, I think, maybe 25. No, I think it's 20. And so because I was able to just like get this and then a couple of free things that I had in there. I think I got like one other tea that was just really on discount. So because I'm on a tea buying ban, I just wouldn't let myself get others, but I will miss bonfire. Cinnamon. This is just a black tea with cinnamon. This is for the 15th. Where's the 15th? There's the 15th. Double ginger. Maybe I'll give that to my husband. He likes ginger teas. Red peppercorn. Oh, actually, that sounds kind of good. Orange marigold, flowers, strawberry, natural peach. Maybe I wouldn't mind that. Okay. It's not just ginger and ginger, even though it's called ginger, double ginger. So, all right. Putting that in there. All right, now we're moving on to what date? 17th. Tea Talks. I like their Tea Talks. This doesn't have a lot of like special Halloween-y kind of teas, which sometimes it does. I wonder if they were kind of trying to use up a lot of their samples, if they were getting ready to move their warehouse. Sleeping Dragon. These are all great teas. They're just not very themed, which maybe that's good since I'm not drinking them in October. 18th. So we're getting there. And the nice thing is, this is a full month's worth. So I will also have a bunch of extra little samples that I can drink. Lemongrass. I actually have some fresh lemongrass in my freezer right now that I meant to make some tea with. 19th. Cat Scratch. Oh, okay, so this is one that was special for like Halloween. This is one of their signature blends that actually you can make your own blend on Adagio, which is fun. Just using like different Adagio ingredients. You can make up your own blend. You can make your own little picture for it. So if I got this in a tin, it would have a tin with whatever picture this person put on it. This is like black tea ginger, green rooibos, cocoa nibs, chocolate flavor, caramel flavor, chicory, vanilla flavor, peppercorn, ginger, black peppercorn, blue cornflower. It's like all the things. Okay, and this is for the 20th. Where's the 20th? It's the 20th. We only got a few more. Candy apple. I do actually really like candy apple. And it's a black tea. It's not, I often forget that candy apple is not a decaf. Because I think of it, they make a lot of decafs that have apple pieces in it for sweetness. Peach Serenity. I like Peach Serenity. I use it a lot. Yeah, like this one, the very first ingredient is apple pieces. It makes a great iced tea. And actually, we're still drinking iced tea because where I live is weird, where like right now it's pretty cold. And I say that coming from New England. I know it's not really very cold. So here's one that's a little weird, is Scorpio. Scorpio's for the 23rd. I am not going to use it for the 23rd. I am going to drink it earlier. Because I'm actually just going to pick what I want for the 23rd and the 24th from some what's here. See what my favorite is. Because Scorpio, like it's a Scorpio new moon here in a day or two. Seems kind of silly to drink that. To drink that on the 23rd. So the 23rd, I want a decaf because I'm going to want to go to bed early. Although now that my kid's a teenager, we're not going to be getting up super early. But so I'm going to put the decaf peach, one of my favorites. It's also one I love to make iced tea out of. And chocolate truffle is going to be my one for the 24th. Okay. So now I have, let's see if I can hold it up without everything falling out, a full advent calendar that I will put up on my mantle. I will probably tie it up for right now. Ooh, except I did that while it was flipped over. So now everything's falling out. I'm going to put that up on my mantle. and that will be ready. The ones I didn't use was Monster Mash, which was like the Halloween one. I'll probably have that soon because I've had that before. It's good. Scorpio, Blackberry, Gunpowder. I love their Gunpowder green tea. Maybe I'll have that after this cup of tea. Always Nuts. I like their Always Nuts. Berry Blues, another decaf. So you can tell by the colors. You can tell what kind it is by the colors. So if it's yellow, it's decaf. If it's brown, depending on the color of the brown. So there's a dark brown. I don't know if they have any of the light browns. The light brown means it's an oolong. The darker brown means it's black tea. There's also a Thai chai. That's the other one that's left. And then the green teas are in the little green packets. I love these little samplers. I think you can even like make up your own little sampler pack. You can get a bunch of samplers for very inexpensive, especially if you haven't ordered from Adagio before. So you can just go through and like pick out different ones you want. I now have rewards where I can like I actually could have done this entire advent calendar with just cards. You get cards every 3 days or something, and the card will get you one of this size. If you get 4 of the same one, you can get about this size bag. So I actually got a peach oolong with my most recent. Actually, it's not quite this big. It's a little bit smaller than, well, it's probably correct with what's left in this bag. It's about 10 cups, I think they say. So that is my Adagio stuff. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I don't. I just love them. They're my favorite. So now I wanted to talk a little bit about books because I haven't talked about books with you since I think the 7th. So I've had a few books that I've finished since then. I think I was almost done with The Witching Moon Manor by Stacy Savinsky the last time that we met. So this one was written by it's part of the same group. It's called the Spellbound Sisters, and it was the Crescent Moon Tea Shop was the first. I loved it. I know a lot of people don't love it as much, but it's like me with the Spell Shop. I enjoyed the Spell Shop, but I love the Spell Shop. It's a little slow for me. This one just was the right fit for me. I also loved The Witching Moon Manor. I gave it a 4.5. It's about these 3 sisters that live in a tea shop, and at the end of the first book, they've all scattered a little bit, and they all come back. The other one, I got a NetGalley of Brigands and Bread Knives, which was the second Legends and Lattes. Although I thought it was the third. Oh, maybe one of them is considered a prequel. Yeah, one's considered a prequel. So it's the third book in the world, but it's the second in order, I guess. And I listened to it. It was great. I recommended it to my son. I think he will love it. I really liked it. It's by Travis Baldree. It's a fantasy. It's a cozy fantasy. This one has a lot more traveling than the other 2. It's almost all traveling, but I liked that it didn't have the most predictable ending, actually. And it's just funny. They're really funny. That's why I recommended it to my son, because it's just silly. Yeah, it's silly humor, and I really enjoyed it. I liked listening to it. I also, very quick listen, I think it's an hour and a half. I listened to The Hangman by Louise Penny, which is an Inspector Gamache book within the series. I'm trying to read the whole series. The newest one, which is I think number 21, came out this month, called Black Wolf. So this one is 6.5, which I'm actually up to like 10, I think. And I didn't know this one existed. So I went back to read this one. And it was cute. I gave it a 3.75. There's only so I don't think it would be a good standalone. I think it's only entertaining if you already know the characters. It's kind of a fun little throw in short story, but without knowing the characters, there wouldn't be probably enough to grab you. A surprise to me is I read the new Nora Roberts trilogy. I don't know if it's the newest, but one just came out this month, the third of the series. It was recommended on Currently Reading podcast. It's called It's called Inheritance. It's not The Inheritance. It's Inheritance, the Lost Bride trilogy, book one. I like Nora Roberts' romances. I find them fun. Some of her older ones I can't get into, but I like her more recent ones. This is a little bit paranormal. There's a ghost. She inherits a big house in Maine. It's fun. I'm really enjoying it. It was one I just kind of wanted to hug a lot. I got it out of the library. I think I just stumbled upon it. No, I think I ordered it from the library. I'm going to read the second one, which is The Mirror, pretty soon here. I think I have it on my list. Yeah, 4.5, fun. Want to read the whole trilogy. They're light and I love them. I don't read I know she does some thrillers and I know she has a mystery series under a different name. Those are not my bag, really. Again, I haven't read them. I don't know. Maybe they're my bag, but I don't usually like those genres as much. I did a buddy read on Book of the Month Club Buddy Reads. This one actually wasn't a book of the month, but they had done a buddy read with that author. The most recent book she wrote, it's Audrey Ingram. Most recent book she wrote was a book of the month. They did a buddy read for that. And when they do a buddy read and talk with the author in a Zoom, they then do another buddy read with one of their other books. So this one is the group trip. I found it really fun. I listened to it. I love doing the buddy reads. There's always at least a quarter of a point, if not half a point, just for the experience of doing the buddy reads on that Facebook group, Book of the Month Club Buddy Reads. Love them, love them, love them. Don't always buy the books on Book of the Month, but I will often listen to them on Spotify. This is probably not one I would have bought, just because I don't think it's one I'd want to reread, and those are the ones I tend to buy. But I gave it a 4.0, mostly because the ending was pretty unrealistic. This was a group of friends, and they have some conflicts, and they work through them mostly. And I just thought one of the characters drastically changed personality in the end, and I don't buy it. Being a therapist, maybe I'm a little bit cynical in that area. It's funny because you would think I do think people change, but I don't think people change like that. So just from my experience. I listened to One Day Everyone Will Have Always Been Against This by Omar El Akkad. Gave it a 4.25. Glad I listened to it. It's, for the subject matter, it actually was a pretty enjoyable listen. He's a good writer. I don't know enough about the politics to know if there's, I know some about the politics, but being around academics a lot, which I am, because my husband is a college professor, I know there's always somebody who researches this topic, knows a lot more than me, and knows the nuances of why things may be problematic that I don't know. So I'm always open to, okay, so this is the one version of this I'm hearing. It seems a lot of the things seem like something that I believe to be true. He's a journalist, and my father-in-law was an investigative journalist. So the talk about journalism and what's reported and things like that was also very interesting to me. Then I needed a quick read that fit into a prompt on Storygraph. What am I talking about? Prompt on Storygraph for some fall reading. And so I read Pumpkinheads by Rainbow Rowell, I think. It's a graphic novel. It was a quick read, but it was really cute. I feel like I don't always get a lot in graphic novels, but I really felt like I got a lot from this. It was fun. It was a quick, I did it as kind of my morning read. And then just sort of blew through the last 100 pages at the end. Just wanted to read it, and it was fast. I gave it a 4.0. Very cute. It's technically kind of a young adult romance. It was adorable. Then I read Wreck by Catherine Newman. It's the second in the Rocky series. The first is Sandwich. I loved Sandwich. Sandwich is somewhere, I think, on my mug because it was one of my top books of the year. Is it on here? Maybe not. Maybe it was I read it too early. But I loved Sandwich. Unless Sandwich might have been a 4.5 and not a 5 for me. Which actually surprises me. Yeah, because I think otherwise it would be on here. So maybe I gave it a 4.5. And there's the Crescent Moon tea shop. So I did give that one a 5. Wreck, I gave a 5. I loved it. I love her humor. I love her talk about just the everyday life of a mother with elderly parents. In both her books, maybe it's the age I'm in, but I love her. I love her writing. I just have so much fun with it, even though it's sometimes very difficult topics. There's so much humor in it. I just adore it. So that is what I have read since the 7th and finished. I am currently reading The Wisdom of the Shire, which is just about like wisdom of living like a hobbit. It fit a prompt, and I was kind of interested in it. I wasn't interested in a lot of the others that kind of came up and fit the prompt. I'm reading Strange Practice, which is about Greta Helsing, who is a doctor to, I think, the differently alive is how they describe it. I'm only about 8% in. It seems very cute. It's light enough that that's kind of what I need right now, because I'm also listening to the Moon and Back by Alana Ramaj. It's about a Native American woman, lesbian, who wants to be an astronaut, and sort of she seems somewhat neurodivergent, possibly, although I don't know if that's to be diagnosed. But she's got some complicated social stuff, complicated family stuff. I'm really enjoying it. I am listening to it because it's not the quickest read. So I do kind of need to be able to listen and sort of do something else while I'm listening instead of just reading it. I started off reading it because I did get it from Book of the Month, but I have kind of backed off from reading it, and I'm mostly probably going to finish it by listening to it. But I'm really glad I read it. I think it was like a Reese Witherspoon also recommendation. So I'm listening to that about 40 pages a day to kind of finish that off. I think it'll probably be a 4. It's about some interesting topics, but again, not riveting. Probably could have been pared down quite a bit. But I feel like I'm getting pretty invested in the character, which is sometimes hard to do with neurodivergent characters, because you don't get a lot of emotion expressed from them, and that's the case with her. Although you do get, I don't know if she's really neurodivergent. She just struggles with social relationships. So I don't want to diagnose character if that's not what she's supposed to be diagnosed as. But it leads to a character that's very flat sometimes, unless you're in her head. So And sometimes then there's a lot more going on there. But so I'm going to finish that one up probably in the next couple of days. And I am listening to Blood Marked by Tracy Dean. Dean, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, Deann. It's the second of the Legendborn cycle, which I at first thought it was the Legendborn trilogy and 3 are out, but it is the cycle. So, and she only puts out a book like every 2.5 years, but they're very, very good. If it takes her 2.5 years to put out books that are this good. The beginning of Bloodmarked, so this is like a 22-hour audiobook I am listening to. I'm listening to it on audio because I told my son about the first one, and then he binged all 3 of them. So he got them on Audible. He listens to everything on Audible. So we had them on Audible. So I was like, oh, let me have this be my next listen to, especially because they're so long. Sometimes I have a hard time with books that are that long, but the audio I seem to do okay, especially because I listen to audio at like 1.5 or 1.75. So beginning of Bloodmarked was a little tough. But I just got out of that section. I'm about 9 hours in to listening. The first, I would say 7 hours were a little repetitive and slow. But then I just couldn't stop listening. So it's great. I don't know if it'll be a 5 just because of that beginning, but I'm really enjoying it. I think Legendborn is on my, no, Legendborn isn't on my mug because no, it is. It's right there. There's Legendborn. So this is the custom mug I got on Etsy, and I sent in 15 of my favorite books from the past year. So all of these got 5 stars. So I don't know what Legendborn will get, probably 4, 4.5, depending on how the ending is. If the ending is as great as it's kind of going right now, it'll get a 4.5, just a little ding for that beginning, which probably needed to be there for the setup. But so that's where I am with books and tea and all the good things, doing recordings over the next couple of weeks for my Patreon. I've got 3 more to do for individuals. There's a certain tier where I make you an ASMR recording. So I have 3 more of those to record, and I just recorded the big full video that I will put out for them that I have to edit, and I sent out yesterday. I recorded one of the individual recordings. So the hardest part I love making them. The hardest part is coming up with inspiration, especially since I'm making 5. I am making 5 recordings a month, and most of them are all different. And so I don't reuse any of the sometimes they're similar, but they're individualized since people are paying for individualized recordings. And so coming up with something that's interesting and different every time can be a little bit of a challenge. And plus I know most of you guys really like the massage content, so I try to work that into most of them. So that's what's going on here. I don't know if you'll hear from me next week because of Thanksgiving. And if not, have a wonderful holiday, and I will be back with you hopefully soon. Okay, bye.